Cowboys Cast, baby. Let's do it. Hey, I got a special guest, man. Hey, football's back tomorrow. We got the Dallas Cowboys on Sunday against them Dog Pound Browns. Hey, man, it's going to be a good week. I'm excited. We got a guest. We got Ali in the building. I'm gonna give him a round of applause, man, here in a little bit. But hey, Ali. Hey, introduce yourself, man, to the Cowboys Cast.
I appreciate it, Javier, man. It's great to be on here at the Cowboys Cast. And Ali Jawad, Dallas Cowboys beat writer for Sports Illustrated. It is great to be here. And as you mentioned, we got football this week, man. Let's get excited.
Yeah, man, I'm so excited. Look, there we already got somebody. It's Stephen White. He says, "Hi, y'all." He's giving that Texas y'all. Let's go, man. We're back in. We got Ramon Zuniga. Let's go, baby. And then Stephen White again says, "Cubo Javi." That's a Mexican thing, but you know, we got Dwight Thrasher. Let's go. Hey, man, it's getting crazy in here. TikTok's getting crazy right now, but hey, let's get into it, Ali. So yeah, man, the NFL, right? I kind of got a couple of questions for you. Since you kind of, you're a little insider. What do you think the landscape of the NFL is? And I know we're the Cowboys here, but we're also live on East West Football. But what do you think the landscape of the NFL is? And is there a team ready to challenge the Chiefs, man? What do you think?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think it's wide open this year. You consider how many talented teams, how many teams have stacked up ready for the opportunity to compete this year. While the Chiefs are the reigning champs, probably the favorites to make history this year. One team that comes to mind overall, I'm going to go with the 49ers again. And I know seemingly that's probably what a lot of people might expect when you have a healthy 49ers team. I mean, the Super Bowl is a close one. And I think if you replay that game, multiple times again, put the two teams back out there, it's not going to be a runaway for either team. So I think when you have a healthy 49ers team, they are the best when it comes to challenging Kansas City. But if we're talking AFC and strictly going which team could potentially stop the Chiefs from even reaching the Super Bowl in the AFC, I know a lot of people want to talk about the Bengals, got a healthy Joe Burrow. Obviously, the Bills have been there, Josh Allen. They've competed multiple times with the Chiefs. But I'm actually going to give this one to the Houston Texans. CJ Stroud, man, terrific rookie season. They landed Joe Mixon. They got Stephon Diggs, Nico Collins, Tank Dell is healthy, Dalton Schultz. Defense was top half of the league last season. They do face off in December. Potentially a chance for the Texans to show that they can compete with the very best and the stack roster they have. Chance for a potential AFC championship preview. I like the team that Houston is putting together. And I think if CJ Stroud just continues that upward trend with what they put around him, I have to give it to Houston as the team to potentially challenge Kansas City and prevent them from trying to make the history of trying to become the first team ever three-peat in Super Bowls.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, that is a bold statement. The only reason I say that is because you got to think, 2 years ago, this team was in shambles, man. And for them to do what they did, the old, draft day switcheroo last year, man, was amazing. So, yeah, I mean, that is – would you consider that the quickest rebuild?
I think I would, because you consider even before 2 years ago, all the problems going on within that organization, and it seemed like a revolving door of head coaches there at one point. So, yeah, for them to turn it around. And I think last season, nobody would have expected that to happen. I mean, I certainly didn't, but for them to flip it around and exceed, I mean, they really exceeded expectations. For them to flip it around the way they did, I mean, you could really say it is the quickest rebuild we've ever seen.
Yeah. So I would have to disagree a little bit, although I like the Texans. Don't get me wrong, right? And if we're gonna play that game, if somebody's gonna win it, it's got to be at least somebody from Texas, at least. So I'm okay with that. But I would have to say the team that I think Kansas City looks back and keeps looking behind them has to be Cincinnati, man, to me. I think if any team does scare them, it's Cincinnati. Like you said, if they have a healthy Burrow, man, and Jamar Chase, hopefully he plays with the contract situation. I think that's the most dangerous team heading into this year. But as long as, like I said, Burrow stays healthy,
Right.
man, it's gonna. Josh Allen is a close, second B, but Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals, man. We'll just hope that defense is the same though. But that's my pick for that. We have hey, what's up, mother suckers? We baby 40 burgers on deck. So man, so he has a running joke that the Cowboys are always gonna score 40 points on people. So we on TikTok, put up Cowboys. Let's go. All right. So Stephen White says I lead with the fire emoji, baby. Yeah, man. He's been on before, but hey, he's on now, man. So Ram says, let's start off with, is Cooper BB ready for this Browns D and Jim Schwartz? You know what? I'll leave it to you, Ali. What do you think about that question?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. I mean, what better way to make a first impression than by going up against the team that was, the best defense in football last year overall, ranked number one in the league. I certainly think he's ready. The transition he's made, the ability to pick up a very difficult position in a matter of months, considering he played guard in college. Now you're flipping over to basically you're the quarterback of the offensive line. No doubt he's ready to go. He had a great preseason, made the transition. I think he is ready to handle this defensive front. And really, the question can be thrown to the whole offensive line because you got multiple young guys ready to step up on that offensive line to try and slow down and protect Dak Prescott. So I have no question in my mind that this young rookie can come in and really make that impression and show exactly why the Cowboys told him, hey, forget guard, come play center for us.
Yeah, what I've actually heard, he's a really smart dude, man.
Absolutely.
So it doesn't surprise me that he's playing center and picked it up pretty quickly. We have John Doe. Damn, where you been, bro? Hey, we've taken a break. It's called life, man. Stephen White says Amito with emoji fire. Then we got Stephen White. Hey. And then we got Adam. Is that Adam, right? We put a picture Cowboys, baby. Yep. All right, Adam, see what Adam has. Let's see all day, baby. Let's go. Been waiting for this. What's up, fam? Love y'all. Missed y'all. Cowboys Cast. We got a big following, Ali. We got some.
It's great,
man. Guys, it's not sustainable. What's not sustainable? Give me some context, man. Give me some context. Dwight Thrash says drafting a quarterback is the way to have a quick rebuild. That is true. But when you draft your quarterback, mind you, a franchise quarterback and a franchise defensive player in the same draft, it's kind of like they're growing up together, So yeah. Stephen White says Texas Super Bowl. Can you imagine
that? Yeah. I mean, imagine the Cowboys play the Texans this year. So in a crazy world, that's the preview. We're all probably hoping for that here in Texas, but one could dream. I think one could dream.
Okay, Ali. So I got a question for you. Another one. What matchup is favorable for Dallas against this defense? And the same can be for the Browns. What do you think is a favorable matchup for them?
Yeah, definitely. I actually am going to go more, instead of like a player to player like matchup, I actually want to go the Cowboys red zone offense against the Browns red zone defense. For those that don't know out there, the Browns red zone defense was actually, surprisingly, when you have the best defense in football, you think from top to bottom they're the best. They were actually dead last in red zone defense last season. They gave up 71.4% defensive red zone touchdown rate. The Cowboys were middle of the pack at 14. You've got Jake Ferguson, who caught all 5 of his touchdowns in the red zone. CeeDee Lamb, 9 of 14 of his touchdowns were in the red zone. So for the Cowboys, I like the matchup of, if you reach the 20-yard line, you're not thinking field goals. You're thinking, hey, this team had a hard time keeping teams out of the end zone in the red zone. Well, now we have a chance to prove that our red zone offense is improving. We know it was a bit shaky kind of in the beginning of last year. Chance to show that it is improving going into this matchup. So I really like that matchup there for the Cowboys. For the Browns, I think you want to exploit the young linebackers and the inexperience at the unit. David Njoku specifically over the middle, coming off a career-high 81 receptions, 882 yards. I think if you're Deshaun Watson, you want to attack the middle of that field, considering Leighton Vander Esch, obviously, retired. You're going to be relying on guys like Overshown to really step up, in the middle of that defense. So I really think the Browns find that to be a favorable matchup and an opportunity to get their tight end going in the middle of that defense against the Cowboys.
Cool, man. Hey, we got Juan on TikTok. He says, "How is Overshown doing in your perspective over training camp and to mini camp and all that to now preseason? What does he look like, you think?"
Yeah, no, I think he's looking really good. Coming back strong from the ACL tear. I think that's one of the players that we're certainly most excited to watch. Obviously, fast, explosive player, can get in the backfield. And that's what you want. You want a guy that can really help this run defense. You want a guy that, can drop back into coverage. You want a guy that can really do the things that, a Leighton Vander Esch was capable of doing. And to have him back for that defense, I think is going to be great. Obviously, the big blow last year, he was one of the rookies. I was actually probably the rookie I was most excited to watch last year. It was Overshown until that injury, of course, happened, unfortunately, in the preseason. So, no, I think the coaching staff is very high on him. I think the players are very excited to have him back out there. And I know he's fired up and ready to go. And, this technically is his rookie season, obviously, because he didn't have a rookie season last year. So there's going to be a lot of learning curves. There's going to be those tough matchups. But this is a chance to watch him grow and hopefully become the player that we saw him in when he was at Texas.
All right, we got Ram saying, "How confident are you in this D will be better with Zimmer than with Quinn?" Now, we got defense tomorrow, but I'll let Ali answer that one.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, I'm very confident in this defense. One thing that I really was impressed with, I think Mike Zimmer really came in to this defense and saw this run defense is not getting it done. I think he saw that in training camp, in preseason, and in comes the signing of Linval Joseph and the sorry, I'm blank on his name. The trade they made with the Giants, Jordan Phillips. Yeah, excuse me, Jordan Phillips, defensive tackle. I know there's been a lot of praise from this coaching staff on Mozzie Smith in his second year that they feel he can really take that step forward in his development. Obviously, Osa Odighizuwa. So that is something I really credit Mike Zimmer to come in and really make an emphasis to fix up this run defense. Obviously, you get a healthy Trayvon Diggs back. I don't think it's a defense that's going to regress. I think it's a defense that is going to continue to play at a high level. You got some familiarity there as well. Most notably, I mentioned Linval Joseph. Can't forget Eric Kendricks as well, who was a good player from Minnesota. So I expect this defense to continue to dominate and to be the strength of this team. And Mike Zimmer, I know, has been a great defensive-minded coach for a long time. Obviously, his first run with the Cowboys, he was defensive coordinator for 7 years. I mean, even in the years where they were led by Dave Campo, the problems those years were the offensive side, not the defensive side. There's a reason Bill Parcells hung on to him for a couple of extra years as well. So that speaks to him about how good of a defensive coordinator he is. So I'm really excited to see what he can do with this unit.
All right. So Adam says, "Yes, sir. He's been here since day. He has been here since day one, man. I appreciate that." Stephen White says, "We can kick field goals from the 50." I mean,
not wrong.
Hey, it's a strategy, not the preferred strategy, but yeah it's a strategy. Look, man. So you've answered a couple of questions already, and so I had another question, but I'm gonna keep it on the offensive side, and say that Guyton, right? Did the Cowboys really expect for him to be this good? Or, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if they expected him to be this good. What's your take on it?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. I think the same could be said if you go back 2 years ago with Tyler Smith, and he was thrust into that left tackle spot. I don't think any one of us saw that coming.
Yeah.
Guyton had a great preseason. And I think essentially they were looking at Chuma Edoga as the guy to step in, but the injury happens. Now you get the rookie in. And granted, that first play against the Raiders, I know there was a double team there on Max Crosby, but the rest of the game, the Raiders took Crosby, moved him to the other side for a reason. Now let that kind of signal something right there, maybe what they think of Guyton as well. I don't think they would have expected him going maybe into this game, this high level of confidence that this young rookie can come in and play outside of quarterback, arguably the most difficult position in football, left tackle, especially this game where what he's going up against opposite of him. It's great for him and to build that confidence going into week one. That's what you want. You can go to sleep at night leading up to this game knowing that, hey, we like what we have in this kid and we feel good about his chances week one. And we feel good about the chances to come in and protect Dak Prescott's blind side. I think the pressure is more like you're stepping in the place of a legend in Tyron Smith, who did an unbelievable job in that role for so many years. Even during the final years, being banged up when healthy, he was still dominating. Uh, Listen, no one's asking him to be the next Tyron Smith. Obviously, that would be great, but you're just asking him to go out there and play and, be Tyler Guyton, play Dallas Cowboy football, play the game very well, play the game you've been playing for so long, be the best you can be, As I mentioned earlier, we know I had the question about Cooper Beebe. You want to make a first impression, here it is. Take down Myles Garrett. If you can do that, I think Cowboys fans will come out at AT&T Stadium the following game wearing Tyler Guyton jerseys, which we would love to see that.
Yeah. So, and to add to that, I think a lot of people have we had conversations, my family were huge football fans. I don't even think we asked about our nephews or anything. It's all about football. It's crazy, right? I will say this. So us as a family, Cowboy family, we call last year's draft the Mike McCarthy draft. Because we feel like that was a Mike McCarthy kind of print. And then this year is more like, no, let's go back to Will McClay. And if you look at the first 4 picks, right, we feel like the Cowboys, if they look at all these games they've lost against this team, what has been the difference? The other team was a lot more aggressive, and they played hard-nosed football. And if you look at these first 4 picks, you got Guyton, you got Cooper Beebe, you got I don't even know how to say his name, Maurice Loufa. It's hard to say his name. Nealand. Yeah. Like, it almost seems as if they're trying to play, bully ball. That's what it seemed like the picks are. Would you agree with that? Or it's kind of.
No, absolutely. I do agree with that. Especially if you look at the offensive line, I mean, you lost some key pieces there, and you knew going into this draft. I think obviously there was the mock drafts of, hey, take a wide receiver first round. I don't think that was a question on the table. You really got to get better up front, especially when you lose a couple of guys up front. You look at the division as well. The Eagles are deep up front. Don't sleep on the Giants' defensive front. I think it's a very underrated front. Dexter Lawrence, Brian Burns, Kayvon, those guys, no question you had to get better up front to give your offense a chance. And same the other way around. I mean, look, it's a very deep defensive front there with the Cowboys, but, you lose guys like Dante Fowler Jr., you lose Dorrance Armstrong as well, so you got to find ways to replace these guys. And I think that was the biggest thing with this draft too, is like, what you lost in the offseason and you had to replace. Well, a lot of those guys you lost were guys up front. And so I think it was the right approach. And as you mentioned, it's like, no, let Will McClay kind of take this back over again. You got to be physical, you got to be physical up front. You got to play bully ball. And this is what you want, in order, to win these games. I mean, it starts, within, you always build your team within going out, you never kind of go outside in, So I think they took the right approach in this draft, trying to get better both sides up front.
All right. So Stephen White says Nealon, but Ram says, other than Parsons, where do you see a consistent pass rush? So we'll get to that question real quick. Let me get to this one. Sophomore slump in Houston this year? Okay. I don't think Ali thinks that at all.
No.
If you were paying attention early.
I don't, especially when you look at the way the division is going. I think Tennessee's kind of hitting a reset. Some question marks in Jacksonville. I kind of question what's around Trevor Lawrence, Indianapolis, I do like their team. I think if Anthony Richardson stays healthy, that team, the Texans, obviously certainly can't underestimate. But I think with the way the division is right now, Houston is really the more superior team in that division.
So Stephen White just says the praise on him was very high early in the draft, built perfect. I guess he's talking about Nealand. But Ram says, I see Guyton getting help and Schwartz attacking Steele. Ooh.
Terrence Steele. You're not wrong. Hey, I mean,
he's gotten a lot. A lot of the fans have really attacked him, man.
Yeah.
This last year, like, he was not playing the way he usually plays.
Not one bit. And I know there was health issues right there. I think you look at the offensive line, you look at those 4 positions from Guyton all the way to Martin, you feel confident. You want to see, obviously, Terrence Steele get back to his form, and that would really complete the offensive line. So it wouldn't be a surprise if, Schwartz does flip potentially Garrett to that side. But at the same time, you have a rookie, and rookies are going to be rookies, and they're going to make mistakes. So, it's fair game in that situation. Could we see help on that end? Absolutely. I mean, at the end of the day, you got to remember, this is Myles Garrett. This is the reigning defensive player of the year. This is arguably the best defensive player in football. You're definitely going to see some help on that side. But I think if you get the opportunity to see a one-on-one matchup, that's what you really want. As a Cowboys fan, that's what you want to see, is a one-on-one matchup. In a perfect world, if Tyler Guyton pancakes Myles Garrett, that's going to be all over social media. That's going to be all over Cowboys, Instagram, Twitter, all that stuff. So I could see, though, some help being put in on that end, though, very much.
All right, let me get to some TikTok. Great coverage and ball hawks, but no, we have linebackers that would create chaos. Okay. Ray says now we have them. Ray says they beefed up the D-line. Yeah, they did for sure. Let's see. Let's go with Kevin. Stephen White says the whole O-line has its hands full. I would have to agree with that, man. I guess if you're going to know what kind of offensive line you have, I think this is the first game to do it. You're going to find out real quick about yourself up front and in a hurry. So Adam says, I'll remind y'all when Houston loses to Baltimore again. That was a pretty bad shellacking, man, in the playoffs. And they're young, but at the end of the day, they still made it, and I don't think anybody anticipated them being there. But I think they'll take it as a learning lesson. And with this special DeMeco Ryans, man, I think he's hell of a coach. I think he'll have him ready this season for sure. So other than that, man, I guess the last question that wasn't on the agenda, but it's interesting that everybody sees the lineup, right? And they see Zeke as a number one running back. So, obviously we didn't get to see Zeke very much. We saw Rico Dotto, which I think Rico Dotto has matured so much in that position, man. I think he's a little bit better pass blocker than when he first came in. I think he runs so hard, man. And I think sometimes he's just like one slip or tackle away from taking it to the house, man. But I think he's a great player, and he's gotten a lot better every year. But what's your take on the running back one?
Yeah, no, and I actually agree with you. I really think Rico will eventually kind of jump into that RB1 role. I know they actually talked about it yesterday, how Rico could essentially be the featured back. I think right now, and this is to anyone out there that has a Cowboys back in fantasy football, I think right now you kind of wait to see. It's not going to be like we go into this week, reassured who's going to be the guy. It's going to take a couple weeks to, I think, sort out this backfield. In a situation like this too, I want to see carries going to, all the backs, not necessarily just give it to Zeke, give it to Rico. I think Cowboy Nation will be excited to watch Deuce Vaughn get a couple of reps in there as well at the right time, right place during the game, but I think it's going to take a couple of weeks to really determine, like, all right, Zeke is clearly still the lead back here, not going to be the productive back he was with this team, 5-6 years ago, but based off the experience. For those that don't know, he was actually the leader in receptions last season for the Patriots. So that's still one area he's productive in. Obviously, short yard situations. Obviously, Zeke has always been known to be very good against blitzing linebackers. So there's still definitely different aspects of the game that he can provide to an offense to be successful. But in the sample size we saw Rico Dowdle play in last year, I was really impressed. I know against Arizona, he took a screen pass for a touchdown, had a good game against the Giants last season at AT&T. So I think based off the small sample size, you're excited to see a more expanded role for him, which is why I do agree with you. I think at some point, maybe within the first couple of weeks, we could see a flip on who the RB1 is.
Yep. So Ram, as you were saying, how confident are you with the running back situation, which you talked about? Do you think Cowboys are missing Pollard or running back like him?
Yeah, no, that's a good question there as well. I think Pollard, 2022, he had a Pro Bowl season, and I think we were all very impressed with what he did. We were all calling for him to be the lead back. And he did some nice things last season, but you kind of felt like it wasn't replicate of the previous season when given the opportunity. So I think not bringing him back and experimenting with the backfield you have now, in my opinion, and for salary cap implications, is actually a better move to go with, because of the fact that I also think if we're going way ahead now to next year's draft, I think that's what the Cowboys will obviously address, looking at getting a running back next year. So I think you're better off with going down, in this situation. You have Zeke. Again, he's not going to be the explosive back he once was, but he still offers you things that you're going to appreciate about him in this offense. Rico Dowdle, same thing as well. As I mentioned, guys like Deuce Vaughn, you never know when he steps in if he can make the most of his opportunities. He certainly had some nice runs in the preseason. So I don't think they're missing a back like Pollard. I think they'll miss having the productivity and the workload as well. Pollard played all 17 games last season, started all 17 games last season. I think you'll miss that consistency in the backfield. Not sure if you're going to get that with this backfield, but I'd still prefer the approach they're taking this season.
So I'm going to add into that, and then we'll kind of finish it off here with the last question. But, is there a possibility that if the Cowboys are doing pretty well and they feel like maybe the running back piece is what they're missing, do you think there's a possibility they could probably trade for somebody if they're out there on the market?
Yeah, no, I think that depends. For starters, if you are in a position where you feel like you're a contender and the price is right, they're going to do it. Whether it's someone in the market or it's maybe through a trade, it ultimately depends where you are in that situation. I know we're talking about a position that, has a short, career span in the NFL. If a move like that were to be made, I think we could all maybe agree we'd prefer to find somebody in the market that's available rather than somebody that, you bring in via trade. We should also mention too, as well, Dalvin Cook on the practice squad. Not saying Dalvin Cook is going to be Dalvin Cook again, like Zeke of 6'7". If this was 2018, we'd be drooling over this backfield right now. But reality is it's not. Again, it's an experimenting year. If they feel like they have the right guy that can get the job done now, they stay put. If they don't, I can see them making a move. But again, it comes down to the right price, the situation, and what are they willing to give up to make that move.
So John Doe says, "How are you doing, brother? How you doing? Ain't seen you on TikTok. I'm on TikTok now, and we'll be on tomorrow and Sunday, man. So you'll get a lot of TikTok. So look, man. We've talked about the offensive line, what they got to deal with. This week one. We talked about the running backs. I'm not gonna talk about Dak. I think that's it's the same old song and dance. But Dak's Dak. But this receiving core, man, I don't know. I'm excited. A lot of people may not be, but I'm probably more excited, Ali, for not the starting guys, but the Jalen Brooks, the Kevontae Turpin, the Ryan Flournoy. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just the football guy in me, but I feel like I'm excited about these guys, man, and they're young and they're hungry, and I think. Like for me, man, I love the backups, honestly. So what do you think about those guys?
Yeah, no, definitely. I think a lot of those young receivers impressed during camp, making a lot of different plays during practice, during the preseason games. Ryan Flournoy as well, named to watch. The 2 touchdowns he scored, in the preseason, shaking off 2 different defensive backs. That's what you love to see in the red zone as well, too. Kevontae Turpin, I know he's been really itching for more opportunities in the passing game. He doesn't want to just be known as a returner. He wants to be known as a receiver as well. So I like the fact that you have guys that are hungry. They want to compete. They want to, contribute to this passing offense as well. And that's what you want. You don't want to just see it, a CeeDee Lamb and Brandon Cooks type show. You want to, walk out of there feeling like you have some young guys that can step up, especially when you consider Brandon Cooks is in a contract year. And you would love to walk out of this season knowing, hey, we possibly have a 2 and a 3 on our team already because of these young guys and the way they performed. So always love it when you have a unit that has a bunch of rookies, second-year guys, vying for those opportunities, because it really brings in the competitive juice out of them, and that's what makes it more exciting.
So we got Loyalty for Lifetime on TikTok. What's up, brother? How you been? Hey, we've been good, man. We're back at it. It's football season starts tomorrow. We're excited. I'm pretty sure, like, you see all the TikTok and Instagrams, like the contracts for the wives saying, hey, it's football season. You ain't going to see me on, but Tuesdays and Wednesdays, maybe. Cause now we got one game on Friday, the Eagles and Packers, but man, I'm so excited for football to be back. Loyalty for Life says, here we go. Yep. It's a, here we go, the Dak thing. But Ram says, will they finally let Turpin run? And I think what he means by that is, we've always been saying, like, just run Turpin deep, man. Let's see what we got. But I think that's not that's not in their mindset. I think they go off of what's the game plan and what they can attack. But I don't know why they don't let just Turpin run. Why don't they? Do you have an idea maybe?
No, I agree. Why don't they let him run, jet sweeps, end arounds, just put the ball in his hands and let him do his thing. He has that ability to be a gadget-like player for this offense, and I think you want to see more of that as well. Um, could it be for cause of depth? Could it be obviously they value him in the return game and they don't want, to lose him out in there as well. But I think you have to realize you have a guy that give him the football and let him do his thing, let him see what he can do, experiment with him, throughout the season. And I think you can watch that Kevontae Turpin is more than just a guy that's going to trot out there on kickoffs and try and one back for you. But yeah, he's an explosive player. He's an exciting player to watch. He's shifty. He's quick. I agree. Give him the football more. Let him run the ball more and see what he's capable of doing.
You know what? You know what's crazy? I'm pretty sure that when this NFL rule came out with the kickoff, Turpin has to be drooling, man, and chopping at the bit. He has to be, Ali. Like he's just like, this is my game. This is what it is. And this might change the dynamic of the NFL if they take advantage of this, because you can't just be like, oh, we can just put anybody back there. You have to really have a good kick returner, because at the end of the day, the NFL is field position. If you can get a good field position, man, you're probably going to win a lot of games just based off of that. So, yeah, I agree with you, man. They need to put the ball in his hands. But we got loyalty for lifetime. Still don't want Deuce. He's too small. I disagree with you. I'm a big Deuce fan, but we'll see. But it's going to be exciting to see. Loyalty for life. Oh, wish they would sign Dak. So sick of contract talk. Look, man. Look, the rumors are they're in negotiations. It's just the terms of 5, 6, 7 years compared to, I'm guessing the Cowboys want 2 or 3. I don't know for sure, but I think that's what it comes down to. And with Jerry, man, when there's smoke, there's fire, and all those rumors about Shedeur Sanders, man, they might be real. I don't know, but he's that type of guy that he might want a 2-year contract from Dak. Maybe. I'm just speculating. I'm not hearing from any source. I'm just saying it would be smart to get Dak for a 2-year deal, get a rookie under him, learn for 2 years, and then kind of, you know what I'm saying? That might be the plan. I don't know. But I guess we'll see, right, Ali, in the next couple of months or maybe even the year. We don't know what's going to happen.
No, absolutely. I mean, it's, I know there's the whole Shedeur Sanders rumors and all that. I think you got to lose a lot of games to get a guy like that, because, he's going high up in the draft, especially with, the great Deion Sanders going to push him, to really be a top pick in next year's draft. So quarterbacks don't grow on trees. This Dak deal, I know it's a tough situation, difficult situation, because you don't know what your future is past Dak Prescott if he's not on this team next year. Yeah. And how confident do you feel in Trey Lance to take over? I mean, did you feel confident about him in the preseason to where he could really, be that guy? I see why they made the move, but, Michael Irvin spoke about it yesterday. I think that right now your best option is Dak Prescott. And if you bring in a young quarterback and he doesn't pan out, you're throwing away the careers of CeeDee Lamb, of Jake Ferguson, of those guys, and you don't want that to happen. So they got to be smart on this one. I do think your best option is to keep Dak Prescott, but eventually you do think about maybe getting a young quarterback behind him that you feel good about developing behind him.
Yeah, so Loyalty for Latin says we don't need Shedeur. We have enough divas. I don't know. I don't think he's a diva, but that's just me. Well, hey, man, Ali, it's been awesome to have you on, man. Look, at the Cowboys Cast, we're family, man. We always – anybody's invited. It doesn't matter if you're an Eagles fan, you want to come on. But, hey, Ali, we appreciate your time, man. I know you're a busy guy. Where can they find you, your contact, Instagram, Facebook, whatever?
Yeah, no, definitely. If you actually search me up, Sports Illustrated, my name will pop up. My Twitter's linked there as well. Definitely follow me at Twitter. And once this video drops, we can put in the Twitter. I'd be more than happy to put in the Twitter handle in there. We'll definitely have to get increased engagement as well. And we look forward to covering the Cowboys this season for SI. And we do a lot of great work there.
All right, man. Appreciate it. Hey, this is going to be a quick one. Overall, for your trust, Mike McCarthy, with this O against strong D's. Real quick, Ali.
Overall, O against strong D's. Man, Mild trust. His clock situation, clock management, still kind of worries me, especially against those good defenses. Please call the right plays at the right time, Coach McCarthy. That's what we want.
Hey, I appreciate Ali. Hey, Cowboys Cast. You already know, man. Look, when you come on here, your family, Ali's family, I want y'all to give them a round of applause. Hey, thank you, Ali, for coming on. We appreciate you. Hopefully you come on more. Hey, this is the Cowboys Cast, baby. Ali, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for coming on. Hey, TikTok, you need to be nice. And somebody on TikTok says, Assalamu alaikum, Ali. Hey,
and don't forget to subscribe. Like and subscribe. Like
there
and subscribe.
Whoa. Let's stop the music. Hold on.
Like and subscribe right now.
Hold on. Hold on, man. I'm sorry, Ali. Hey, Ali, this is special. Let me tell you why this is special. I don't know if you got something going, Ali. I don't want to keep you.
You're good. No, go for it.
Tell you what, man. The last time that me and this guy down here has been almost like a long time. So
I mean, about halfway through the season, I had to put this on hold for a while.
Hey, we got, people don't understand. They cry, Jerry. They're like, "What's going on, guys? Why don't you?" Hey, we got lives too, man. We got to take a break. And the way we went last year, we went almost every day, and it was rough, man. But
well, I mean, the thing is that people don't understand, right? Just to put the concept together, and then all the work and research that goes behind the scenes, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I think we would take Fridays and Saturdays off, and then we would do a double banger on Sunday, man. I mean, literally going live on the kickoffs. At one point, we were even doing half times too. So, it's a tough gig. So that's why I say make sure you like and subscribe. I was able to keep up with the majority of the show. I got a little caught up. Life is good. Okay, that's the one thing that I think we can all come to agreements right now is that life is good. You just got to cruise the wave. Who's that? Is that my guy?
That's Adam. Adam says El Jerry. And then
Right.
Is he new?
I'm the new guy. Yeah, I'm the new guy.
We got Stephen White. Jerry.
Que buo.
Man, Jerry's famous, man. Jerry's he's been missed, man. I was solo for a little bit, I had to hold it down, but
yeah, he did held it down too. I mean, it's crazy because I'll tell you this is the most interactive. This is going to be the most interactive show you get. And even when we jump onto East West and put our bias down, that's the most interaction you're going to get. Like your voice gets heard. Even the comments sometimes even become, they even become a main topic of the entire podcast. So, I mean, it's a great life and a great world that we live in. I will make my attempts to make sure that I'm back for the lives. But make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications because I know that me, Harvey, Ali, I think we're talking about doing some 15-minute little segments in between because sometimes the lives can be a little bit chaotic sometimes. So you'll get that notification. I just want to say thank you all so much. I am very excited about this Cowboys year. I understand every year is our year, but you know what? This year, it is our year. So aside from that, if you're not a fan, you're not a fan. If you don't believe that, I'm sorry.
Hey, Ali, real quick, that guy shouted out, Assalamu alaikum. He said, I am Muslim. I'm not being funny. So
hey, that's awesome.
That's for you, Ali. Hey, man, appreciate y'all. Hey, Jerry, I'm excited, man. You made my day, Jerry.
Perfect timing.
Hey,
what is it? It's better late than never.
That is true. Hey, TikTok. As always, man, you got to be nice. I'll see you, TikTok. Y'all better be nice to each other at TikTok, right? I always let TikTok go first because they're the meanest. Hey, YouTube, Facebook, we appreciate y'all. Ali, again, thank you for coming in. Jerry, man, you made my day today. I feel like it's Christmas. Hey, we appreciate you guys. As always,